the ball and start running. Just start. Because if you procrastinate for too long, it will be not too good for you. Just start. Just start. Wherever you are, just start. Just start. Whatever you have, just start. Whatever the circumstances, just start. Start wherever you are. I hope somebody can sing that song, Just Start. Let it be a song in our hearing, Just Start. Just start. Ecclesiastes chapter number 11, verse 4 says, he who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. So if you continue to look at the storm of life, if you continue to look at the clouds before you do anything, you will never plant. This season, this rain season has been very, very bad in a way, strange in a way. By the end of December, we did not have rains. The rains should have began the last week of November. We should have had rains. The whole December, we should have had at least enough rains to plant and to start seeing our main cash crop, well, not cash crop, our main stable food for the population should have been by need, by the end of December. But we did not have even the seed in the ground by the end of December. January came and we started having a lot of rains. So a lot of people started watching, started looking at this various activities, meteorological activities, sometimes not even really believing that it will work, but it did work. Here we are. This is our third month. This is almost close to the third week of the third month. And hopefully when we have rains in the next 1 week, a lot of people will have crops. Why? Because they planted despite the storms, despite the impending dangers. So the challenge that we have is to begin. We have to begin somewhere. We have to start somewhere. So I want to once again remind you, just start. Start the business. Start the organization. Start doing something. I truly believe God gives us something that we truly think this can create a livelihood. Start with that. Just deliver transformation from the core of your business, the core of your life. Just start. Just start that organization. Start that platform. Wherever you are, just start. So permit me, if you can ask your neighbor and just tell them, just start. Don't be scared. Just start. Just start. Just start. So this morning, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin, I would want to challenge you with 4 thoughts on this idea of beginning. But the challenge we have as believers is that we are taught to be careful. But sometimes we become too careful that we don't start. We don't start anything. So we keep on postponing, procrastinating. We keep on saying until everything is ready, until all things are in place, until we have all the capital, until we have all the resources. But today we say, just start. Just start. 4 thoughts. And thought number 1, I want you to recognize that you have one source as a believer. You have one source who gives multiple channels. You have one source who gives multiple channels. One source who gives multiple channels. What do I mean? A lot of us believers, we have a challenge in thinking, if I was to begin a business, am I not going against the idea that God is the source? Am I not going against the idea that God is the one who provides? No, whatever responsibility you have, whatever assignment God has given you, recognize that God is the one who has given you that assignment, but He also gives you multiple ways of gaining income. And I would want to repeat that. Others would call them multiple channels. Others would call them other streams of income. God gives us multiple ways. So, yes, we have one source, who is God, but He is a covenant God who is able to give us multiple channels of provision. So we need to remember that God provides channels. So I want to challenge you to start thinking of channels. If you do not have a business, if you do not have an organization, if you do not have ways in which you harness the income that comes from the Lord, believe and start thinking of channels, streams of income from many different sources. So your provisions comes from God indeed, but He provides through multiple channels, through multiple streams of income. So we should not be scared. We should look at business as God's way of providing to us. He is still the source. He's still the source. Some of us will say, no, the source is only my career. If those that are in front, they may say, the source is a ministry, so I'm a pastor, so the source is. But I want to say, yes, He is a source, but multiple channels. Other streams of income. So other streams of income becomes the platform for God to send His provisions to every one of us. So we do not need to debate the aspect that who is the source. The source is God. There's only one source. The source of our income is God. He is the only one. And we should not allow anything to stand between us and Him. Whether your business has a Christian name at the beginning or no Christian name at the beginning, the source is God. Whether the business would be a funeral parlor where you provide services for the people that are grieving, the source is God. It doesn't matter. The source is God. So we need really to capture that. The source is God. The source is God. And we should always ensure that this source is always connected to us as a covenant God. We are covenant children of God. So He is always interested to see that we have, the withal, the provisions for our lives. He is the source. He is the source. But I want now to remind you also that this God always does what He does through our life assignments, life mandate, life purpose. You need to be fully aware and appreciate what you believe God has raised you to become in this earth. What is that life mandate? What are you supposed to provide into this earth? So because of that, you need now to start understanding that what God is going to provide is going to be connected to that life mandate. Channels are created as platforms. Life streams are created as platforms to maximize and to actualize income so that the mandate that God has given us is delivered. It is to actualize God's mandate. I would want to underscore the fact that when God sends the income into our hands, it is connected to his purposes in this earth. So I would want to read Deuteronomy, two texts from Deuteronomy. The first one is Deuteronomy chapter number 8, verse 18. Deuteronomy chapter number 8, verse 18. Deuteronomy chapter number 8, verse 18. It says, But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors as it is today. So whatever we are going to be making in our businesses, whatever various platforms God provide for us, and some of you are already in business, you've come here to really understand how do I accelerate this. We need to always remember, that this is about God's covenant. It's about God's covenant. He gives us the ability to produce wealth. Now, he produces that wealth through various channels. One source, through various channels, through many streams of income. One source, it is God, but through many various channels. But he does so that we may participate in the mandate of preaching the gospel. The covenant is that all people should know the Lord as Savior, that all people should come to know him as the Father, so that people can have a connection and a relationship with him as God who serves. That's in a nutshell, a covenant. So whatever God gives you, whatever God provides into your hands, then it becomes part of that covenant bearing throughout the world. It becomes part of that. So as believers, we shouldn't therefore feel guilty that we're going to business. Amen? We shouldn't feel guilty. Why? Because God needs that income to deliver his covenant in the earth. So God needs those resources that come through our hands, through the various platforms that God has given us, or that God is going to give us, so that we can provide the resources for the kingdom. That's what God does. The second thought I would want to bring to you is that channels, or these streams of income, are produced by products and services. Products and services. Economy 101, rather economics 101, marketing 101, advertisement 101. All these are all connected. If you understand these disciplines, they'll always zero in on products and services. There will be no business without a product and services. So if you are thinking of beginning a business, you need to start articulating what is the product, what is the service you are going to provide, what is the product. So these streams of income, these channels that we are talking about, are only, a platform for a product or for a service. A product for a service. A product or a service. It's important for us to understand. God raises us up and he gives us knowledge to work through a product or a service. So you sell a product, you monetize a service, you charge for a service. And that's where business begins. If we can't drop our business ideas in products and services, we have difficulties. You sell something. So in business, the question is, what are you going to sell? What are you going to sell? What are you going to sell? Let me begin by stating clearly that according to Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, God gave us the responsibility to take care of the earth and till it. He gave us a responsibility to take care of the earth and till it. Chapter 2, verse 15 of Genesis. And chapter 1, verse 26, 27, and 28, God gives us the responsibility to subdue the earth, dominate, and be fruitful. So in chapter number 2, verse 15, it says, take care of the land and till it. Till it, handle everything that is in this land. The Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it. Okay, this one says work it and keep it. Work it and keep it. So the whole Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, they were supposed to be working through it. They were not supposed just to be sitting idle. This is before the fall. This is before the fall. Fall comes in chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3, that's when Eve and Adam fall. And God pronounces something though. He says, to this work, there will be sweat. But he still told them to work it and keep it. So working and keeping was part of our expression of what we are as human beings. Working and keeping is part of our expressions. Work is part of our DNA. To work is part of our DNA. This is how we were created, that we would work it and keep it, the land. In chapter number 1, verse 26, verse 27, 28, he brings in a few thoughts. Then God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. Verse 27. And so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. Him there is, the generic man. He created him. Verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish. So be fruitful, subdue, have dominion. Be fruitful, subdue, and dominate. So that is our capacity, that we can be fruitful, we can subdue, we can dominate. That is in our DNA. This is not. This is before the fall. So in our capacity, we are supposed to be fruitful. In our capacity, we are supposed to subdue. In our DNA, we are supposed to dominate things of the environment. And we are supposed to work and keep that which God has given us. This is critical. We were created to be fruitful. We were created to subdue. We were created to extend that which God desires. But we only do this which God has given us in our present reality through products and services. We subdue, we dominate, we show fruitfulness through products and services. And products and services create a business. Now, products and services create a business, but others may create a business for profit. Others may create a business which is non-profit. But both of them are supposed to be the vehicles through which we provide or we extend this fruitfulness, this dominion, this ability to subdue. It is through what we provide through our services and our product. So what is a product? What's a product? A product, this is a simple definition from our secondary school and our universities. A product is a tangible item that is put on the market for acquisition, for attention, or for consumption. That's a product. A product is a tangible item that is put on the market for really acquisition, attention, or consumption. That's a product. So God gives us the ability to provide this product. It is a product. It's a product. And with this product, we can be able to sell it. What's the difference with a service? Service is an intangible item which arises from the output of one or more individuals. A product is something that you sell to give support to people, but it is not tangible, it's not concrete. But the best way to define it is that services are transactions in which there is no transfer of physical goods. There's no transfer of physical goods. You go to the hospital. The doctor examines you and they have given you a service. They help you. It's a service. If they give you a drug, that drug in itself is a product. But, the consultation you're having, the direction the doctor is giving you a health service. It's giving you a health service. It is an intangible good. What I am doing right now, I am presenting, I am teaching, I'm giving a teaching service, but it is an intangible good. It's a service. You can't capture teaching as a product. It's intangible. So the education system is a service we give because it is intangible. But you monetize services. You monetize services. And this is where sometimes we have difficulties. We don't monetize services. The Zambian kwacha is $18 to 18 kwacha to $1. 18 kwacha to $1. How many dollars are in 1,950? Can somebody divide for me? 1,950 Zambian kwacha divide by 18. 1,950, 108. So it's like about $110, close to there. This Sunday, I fly to Zambia to go make presentation in a seminar for 2 days where people are paying about that much, $110 at Pamo's Hotel. Why? People recognize an intangible service. Presentation is an intangible service. It changes lives. For 2 days, people pay 108. And from there, we go to Kitwe again. 2 days. In Kitwe, they reduced it to 1,600. I don't know why. In Lusaka, it's 1,950. In Kitwe, it's 1,600 Zambian kwacha. So it's an intangible service. What are they doing? They are monetizing a service of teaching. They're monetizing. Why? Because you are transferring knowledge that will change people. The problem we have many times is that we despise the channels. We despise the services we provide. And when we despise them, we do not appreciate them. When you despise the channel, you don't appreciate it. And when you don't appreciate it, you don't get the knowledge out of it. So when you despise knowledge that comes out of a book, you can't pay for the book. Then you will not even read it. You don't even care for it. Actually, if the book was given to you free, it's even worse. You don't appreciate it. Maybe they just gave it to me. There's nothing in here. And we need to shift. Malawi is one country that is remaining in East and Southern Africa with this culture. You go in Kenya, people pay for seminars like crazy. People buy books like crazy. Malawi doesn't buy books. So pastors rarely write books because the books will remain in their garage for a long time. They'll carry dust for a long, long time. Why? Because we do not appreciate the product that is not tangible. the service that's not tangible. So products are things that have a physical existence. While services are transactions in which there is no transfer of physical goods from the seller to the buyer. So that's a very, very big one. So examples of products include, clothes we are wearing. They are physical. They are tangible. Those are products. Electronic devices, products. Our phones, products. They are physical. Furniture, food items, vehicles, products. The essence of the products is to improve our lives. That's the idea, to improve our lives. So you capitalize on that improvement. You sell the value of the improvement of life. If the product can bring an improvement in life, then you are going to value it and sell it at that stage. While services, cleaning, laundry services, car repair services, haircuts. Well, they may use different products to put there, but the cutting itself is a service. There is nothing that is being transferred to my hair physically to change my hair, especially my hair. Every weekend I cut it. So some of you think there's no hair here. There's hair. Tomorrow I will have a haircut every week. And I can see it when they cut. I can see it. Believe me, I can see it. So products and services are the avenues of creating inflows. They are the core to the channels. The first point was God is the source, and He makes us to have multiple channels. Multiple channels. So to create wealth many, many times, you will have to have many, many multiple channels. Not one. Many, many multiple channels. And you continue to leverage on different these platforms, different channels, different streams of income. To create wealth, many times it takes long time. So you need to continually do it, consistently do it. So this is where we must leverage. What is the product are you going to use? What service are you going to use? Of course, beginning a business of products selling is more expensive as compared to service because you need to have an inventory for your product. The products demands bigger warehouses. Products demands a change system of delivering from one side to another. While the service may not demand as much preparation, rather as much capital investment as products. But it all depends what service you are in. If you are in the hotel business, accommodation business, it demands a lot. To provide ambience a very huge capital hotel demands a lot of cash. But ordinarily, if you are beginning as a small business, for businesses with products, you may spend much more as compared to businesses that which demand service. So creators of channels or streams of income, they have to believe that the communities they serve, the people that will come to their business, the people that will come to get their products and services, they will be transformed. They will be enhanced. They'll be enhanced in one way or another. Now, cosmetic industry is a crazy one. It may tell you that you'll be enhanced, but there's a little bit of cheating in it. But it's $1 trillion business. $1 trillion business. So they tell you first that when we give you this product, you look this much. But it's still business. We need to understand that. The idea is that people, they want to come and buy that difference. If I buy this service, I will have this difference in between. I will move from this level to this level. I'll stop using kabaza, I will have a motorcycle. So there is a difference that you are selling from where they are to where they should be, or to where the business or the service will take them to. If you bought this type of windows, your house will look so totally different. The ambience will be better. It will look very beautiful outside. So you are selling the difference in there. You're selling the difference. And people must come to a place of believing that their lives are enhanced because of your service, because of your product. Otherwise, if there is not, you don't put that conviction, people are not going to buy your service. So that is the determination and the conviction that we must emphasize, that there will be a difference in somebody's life. But how do we do these services and products? From us as believers, how we capture how to develop a service or a product is when we understand something that touches us so dearly. I use a phrase from, again, I'm going to use a text from the scriptures, from Nehemiah chapter number 1, verse 3. Nehemiah is a butler. He works in Sushan. It's far away from Jerusalem. He is in diaspora, but is working in the administration of a foreign kingdom, far away from his family. Verse 1 and verse 3, it says, "And they said to me, the remnant there in the province who had survived the exile is in great trouble and shame. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down and its gates are destroyed by fire." Verse 4. "And soon as I heard these words, I sat down and wept and mourned for days, and I continued fasting and praying before the God of heaven." So I tend to say it this way: your product and your services will be produced by the emotions that make you to weep. Your services and products are going to be produced by the emotions and the appreciation of things that make you weep. What do you mourn over? What you mourn over is a clue to what you are really assigned to heal and to restore. So as you look at the environment from where you are coming from, what makes you to mourn over issues forces you to provide a product or a service. There are a few friends that are in front here. Let me use one example of this Afro-looking man here in front here. His name is Pastor Francis Mpinganjila. Some of you should know him from Facebook. He posts a lot on Facebook. He's in huge humanitarian work, doing a lot of boreholes, providing for the disabled. He's been in Chikwawa, providing for the people that have been disadvantaged there. Now, this is the thing. What you mourn over forces you to provide a service in that area. If you are not excited in that area, don't go there and start putting in money. You must be excited, you must be enthusiastic, you must mourn over it, you must weep over it, you must say, what can I do? Nehemiah wept, sat down, and prayed. He mourned over the situation in Jerusalem, and he said, I can do something. Of course, what he did was not a business. In today's nature of corporate work, we call it a trust. He provided a service, a non-profit service. He provided a service. He went into Jerusalem, brought in all the people in, brought in income, brought in resources, and they built the wall fence and the gates. But what he mourned over created in him a mindset to provide a service of building to and protect the city of Jerusalem. So here is my statement. What you mourn over is your idea generator. What you mourn over is your idea generator. What you are really fixated over, what you say, I wish there was a change in this area. I wish somebody would provide services to handle all this sewage all around here. You are mourning over that. Could it be you are being raised to heal that situation? And in the process of healing that situation, you can monetize it. You can create a business around it. What you mourn over becomes the idea generator. So here is my statement. Don't be ashamed of your tears before God. Don't be ashamed of your tears. Don't be ashamed that says, I don't feel nice when I pass through that area. I don't feel nice when I see those people. I don't feel nice when those people are walking around and they are saying those things. Could it be you are mourning over one particular situation? Could it be you are breaking over one particular situation? If I go into those schools, I find all kids seated on the ground. I don't feel nice. Now, you could be 3-4 people who have walked into a primary school. You are the only one who has noticed that. The others haven't even noticed it. Others have just walked there and they've seen a school and kids are running around. For you, you've picked, they are sitting on the ground. You go to another school, you pick it, they're sitting on the ground. You start asking yourself. Others, no. They are not seeing that glaring gap in there. But you, it is coming back and forth. And the question will be, what do I do about this? God, are you leading me to provide a service? Are you leading me to provide a product? God, what are you speaking to me in this area? So that is how, from a Christian perspective, we see products and services. So be convinced of your value of the products and services and its impact in the community. So as you develop anything that you are going to develop, be convinced that the products you are producing will bring value. The service you are providing will bring value. Be convinced, be determined, be assured, because without that assurance, it will not grow. You will have to start giving yourself pep talks. You have to be your own coach. You have to be your own cheerleader. Every morning you have to tell yourself, this will work. One day to work. Now, after 2 days, 3 days, everything is broken. But after 4 days, you still wake up. I believe this will work. You will have to be your own cheerleader. You will have to speak to yourself. You will have to tell yourself, this will work. This will work. Number 3, starting and growing a platform has its own challenges. Starting any platform, any streams of income, using the products and services that God has blessed you, the investigation you've done all across, your community, and say, I can provide this service and monetize this service. We want us to remind you that there are always challenges on the way. There are always challenges on the way. Quickly, let me just make this as a summary statement. Demand for a clear vision channel of business. Be aware. Have a very clear vision for your channel. Have a clear vision for your channel. Develop a preferred picture people can also see. Be fully aware. Where are you going? What do you want to do? Always be prepared to work hard and spend long hours for that vision that you are dreaming. Be prepared. But capture, write one vision, make a statement about where you are going. So you may not have begun a product, you may not have begun a service, but capture something that where you want to go to. Write it down. Write it down. Then set the required foundations. Set the required foundation. Is it registration? Do it. Is it to have a registration with MRI? Do it. Is it to set a company name? Do it. Do all necessary regulatory issues for your business. Do it. Businesses that create wealth must be organized. Must be organized. And for us as Christians, we must do right up above board business. So we have to do the right things. We have to register. We have to have all the necessary regulatory issues done. Number C, have the necessary knowledge of the business. Have the necessary knowledge of the business. Learn everything about the business. Learn everything about the business, about that channel, about that stream of income. Read consistently. Read consistently. I think that's where sometimes we have a gap. We do not prepare enough. If you are going to go into a particular service industry, get all the material you can learn about it. Spend hours reading. Do you want to go into, health industry? Spend hours. Do you want to go into agribusiness? Spend hours studying. And study the industry in the country. Study the competitors. Study, where the market is. Study what type of products the agribusiness industry works with. Study. A lot of us, we went into soya business. How many of you went into soya business? Thank you. Last year, soya hit jackpot. And so a lot of us have gone into soya business. A group of us, we've gone into soya business. And hopefully soya and groundnuts will continue to hit jackpot. These products are actually giving much more money than tobacco. But it's because tobacco has been our cash crop for many, many years. But if you know a little bit about soya business now, there is a lot of spraying to be done. Agribusiness people with liquid fertilizers, they have made money. We were with a colleague at Impingu. We have rented some fields there. And every agribusiness has got a car parked. And the owners move with car keys. So we were so shocked. There was money in agribusiness. Why? Because also people have gone into soya. And the people that have gone into soya are people that are coming from town. So people in agribusiness in the rural setting, they know you've come with money. So their business goes up. Because you are forced, you are a captive audience. You've grown, 10 acres of soya. You have to spray it. You have to spray it for fertilizer, spray it for pesticide. You spend more money. The other business is going. So study your business. This is just a simple business that is mushrooming. You'll be so surprised at the products that are in agribusiness, just in the town, rural setting, in the trading settings. There is a lot that is going there. Study your business. Learn it. Study your competitors. Learn about them. Be consistent. Have the necessary knowledge. Then understand the necessary supply chain system for your business. Understand fully the network between your business, its suppliers, the produce, how you take it to your customers. That's all chain. Understand it. Understand the suppliers of your business. Understand the market. Understand the buyer, the client. These 2 years, last 2 years, the supply chain system was all broken in many, many places. Broken, many different places. And it continues to be broken. The Russian-Ukraine war is even going to be messy. Just the statement that started floating 2 weeks ago, that Russia produces close to 70% of the chemicals that are in the fertilizer industry all over the world. So if that is true, there will be a domino effect in our seasons to come. So the supply chain is messy. I don't know if you've been building in the last 1 year. Literally, the building industry, the products have quadrupled. The prices have gone up. Everywhere, they've just gone up. The domino effect in this chain is big. Understand it. They'll tell you that we used to have containers from China. We no longer have containers from China. For a container to come around from China takes about 5 months now, 4 to 5 months now. When it used to take 6 weeks, now it's 5 months. And the containers themselves are so expensive because during the COVID time, almost all the containers had gone China side. Now to come all over the world, they are expensive. Just a container, an empty container. It was like the whole world was under, blackmail, under ransom by China because the containers were so expensive. So understand that whole thing. Why? Because it's important to understand the business in which you are in. Then number E, regularly assess your business. Evaluate whether you are on course, whether you are delivering according to vision, whether you are producing the necessary profit or surplus. This is critical. Let me give you one of our examples from the International Christian Assembly. International Christian Assembly runs some non-profit making business, not-for-profit business, and others for-profit. We've been running a ministry we call Onesimus Ministries. This is 20 kilometers from here at Impingu. We've got houses where we were rescuing street kids. Our idea has always been to keep them for 2 years, stabilize their life, put them into schools, and then take them back to their families, reintegrate them into their families. We've been doing this for the past 12, 13 years. But it hasn't really been working well. It hasn't been working. We've been assessing. We do not have stories where we can declare great wins. Because whenever we bring kids into our homes, we have parents that take care of them. After 2 years, we take them into their parents, whether their parents is in Blantyre. Usually it will be an extended family system. We drop them into their parents. Within 2-3 months, those children are back on the street. The street kids ministry is hard. Very, very hard. Any partner, stakeholder, any business, any people who have been providing service there, it's been very difficult. We've had us, Chisoma under the Living Waters, Tikondane under the Catholics. To me, to a certain extent, the Catholics are the ones that have had great success because their way of business is no child should be on the street more than 2 weeks. So when they put in workers on the streets, when they find a new kid, within 2 weeks they grab that child so that before he becomes addicted to the life of the street, they grab that child, they take him to their center, then finally take them home. There is a bit of success to those children that haven't become addicted to the life of the street. But when a child has lived on the street for 1 year, that child is got issues. They rarely stay home. They come back. So we have decided that we will close the Onesimus ministries in the way it is been working. We've pumped in millions. We've pumped in millions, built houses, pumped in millions through workers. Why? Because to us, the success hasn't been there. Our idea was 2 years, we capture this child, put him into school, spend school fees, and then take them to their parents, to their extended family, and they continue growing into that extended family. But it seems even if we have kept them for 2 years, the street kid life is still with them. It's not been cast out. So they continue to desire to do that. Now, this is not for profit service delivery. We have a clinic at Mpingu. That which we have staged, it should be making profit. That it should break even. But for the street kids ministry, which we call Onesimus, we've said, no. We are not having any wins here. We are closing. So we are transitioning into having a school, which was our original idea even before. We are building a school. Then we will just provide scholarships into kids that can be given funding there. But for the Onesimus, we've been raising money, but it seems no results. What have we done? We have reassessed. Now the idea would have been, no, if you don't continue doing this, where will the street kids come from? But there's no success. We are not having success. We're pouring in millions. Every year we have workers that are staying in the compound. Every year we are providing all the services, school services, keeping these kids from the income that comes from the church. So we decided, no, we are cutting. So reassess. Every serial entrepreneur, they know how to kill some businesses. Not so, Mike. They know how to kill some businesses. And please don't have a funeral over it. You'll have to know that if this business is not doing well, do not continue putting it. So you will see that big business people, rather people with huge businesses, they have a lot of channels. They will register up to 100 companies. They keep on registering, setting up companies, and they continue to grow. This company, if it's not making profit, they close it. They take the resources into another. If this one is not making it, they close it. They go into That's how they do it. That's how they do it. And many times, of course, as you do that, there will be people's lives that will be affected because you're closing companies. Others, their livelihood would be disturbed because you've closed the company. But the issue is the company must make money. For a non-profit organization, if you are dealing with surplus, there must be surplus, and there should be transformation at the end. There must be transformation. If there's no transformation, you are spending too much money where there's no gain. Finally, fourth point, the journey is usually treacherous. Have energy for it. Every one of us know. I have given you some things to warn you. For us, at the ICA, where we've done a lot of businesses, we run a channel for All Nations, television and radio. We barely break even. A lot of people in this country, they know media business is very, very hard. Very, very hard. But you'll have to learn that you have to have energy on the way. So 3 sources of energy. Remember, the first, God is your energy source. Remember that. We begin from there. One source, multiple channels. Number 2, always learn to appreciate your inner strength. Always appreciate to learn your inner strength. Where do you get the inner strength? From your hard work, from your life journey, from your growth, from your capacity, from your understanding, from wherever you have gone, your experience brings you a lot of capacity. That becomes your inner strength. Leverage on the inner strength. Leverage on your experience consistently. Learn from it. Learn where you've made mistakes. Learn where you have found your suppliers to be well and to be harmful to you. Learn everywhere. And number 3, capture the strength outside yourself. Number 1, God is your energy source. Then capture the strength outside yourself. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge you, just start. Thank you.
All right, that was the senior pastor. Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to take questions for the first session. So please just keep them. We'll have a session where we'll have questions for the speakers. But for now, let me remind those that are catching us online to say that the first session is the one that was available for you on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to continue with the rest of the program, please make sure that you register so that you can have the link to the online platform. You register and pay for it. So here's the number where you can actually put through your registration. 0999 600 142. 0999 600 142. So you're going to have somebody to assist you to get the online link. For the next session, we're going to have Mrs. Messi Chamwalila, and she's the managing director for Mitch Investment, which specializes in pharmaceutical retailing and public health consultancy, business advisories, and of course, real estate. So I hope you're excited. So let me invite you to the podium, and yeah, let's give the questions.